Sow it, grow it. Sow it, sow it, grow it. Hey, sow it, grow it. Sow it, sow it, grow it. Welcome to the second episode of our Sow It, Grow It series.
Today we're going to be sowing eggplants and peppers.
We're going to show y'all how we sow these seeds and then tell y'all about our experiences with growing some of these plants in the past. And you know, we got to throw in a couple mini quizzes again, y'all. Yes, again. So make sure you prepare your answers and follow us along. So without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, y'all. Before we get started, we're going to give a quick update on what we sowed last time. We have the Riverside onion, the Australian brown, and the Texas grano. All three of these were sown on January 25th. And according to my handy dandy notebook, the Australian brown started germinating January 29th, and the Riverside onion 130, Texas grano 131. So we also have over here the Celeriac that germinated, and that germinated on February 3rd. We also have some pink plume in this cell back here. I don't know what happened over here, but looks like we're going to get about 4 of the pink plume celery. We also have some golden pascal germination going on right here, and the Utah tall. And all of those germinated on February 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So, yay, we have germination.
Except for the Cipollini red onions, which didn't sprout anything this year and only gave us 1 seedling last year. Mold started forming on the top, so we tossed it out and may not grow that variety ever again in the near future, at least. Using the same steps in our last Sow It, Grow It video, we went ahead and mixed our Jiffy seed starting mix with some organic worm castings and hydrated it with boiling water to kill any larvae that may be hidden throughout the mixture. Now, if you add too much water to it like we did, just let it sit and dry out for a bit. And you want it wet enough to form a ball, mold it into a shape, and crumble it between your fingers. After it cooled down, we pre-filled our 6-cell seed starting trays with the mix and pressed it down to minimize any air pockets and also to encourage strong and stable root development for our indoor seedlings. And for this seed sowing session, we packed 8 6-cell seed starting trays. Now let's show y'all what we did with them. Okay, y'all, so let's get into our seeds for this year. So we are going to start with eggplant. Now with eggplant, you want to make sure that you are sowing them about 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. And if you didn't watch our previous Sow It, Grow It episode with the onions, celery, and celeriac, we mentioned that you can find out your last and first frost dates by going to the Old Farmer's Almanac, or if you're in the US, you can also go to your local county extension office or website to find out your first and last frost dates there. So 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date, we chose April 7th. It could be a little bit later than that with our fluctuating weather in Tennessee Zone B. It's, hey. So we're going with April 7th for our last frost date. And with eggplants, the seed depth, or firstly, let me backtrack a little bit. With any seeds, you want to look at your seed packet or any information where you can find some details about how to sow your seeds properly. And one of those most important pieces of information to look for is the seed sowing depth. So for eggplants, you typically want to sow them about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch deep. Typically, you'll most likely see about 1/4 of an inch deep. So we went ahead and sowed some of these. This is what you can see on the table, but we will also show some inserts of us sowing them about 1/4 inch deep. So we sowed them 1/4 inch deep. That requires a little light covering of the seed starting mix on top of it. And unlike some other seeds like celery and celeriac, eggplants don't require light in order to germinate. But like with everything, they need moisture. So this is why the spray bottles right here. Spray those things, guys. Hydrate them because the water is what will break down that seed coat and allow that embryo to sprout out and form that seedling, which is your precious plant. So make sure you just keep them moist. And we like to use a saran wrap, but you can use a plastic heat dome to go over top of your seed trays or containers, whatever you're sowing your seeds in. This is what will insulate that heat and humidity that will form over time over your seeds. We put our seeds on heat mats, and the heat mats in conjunction with the heat domes or the saran wrap is what will cause the rate of germination to speed up way faster. And eggplants are one of those types of plants that can germinate kind of slow. So anything you can do to speed up that rate of germination, make sure you do that. Okay, so very quickly after your seedlings are pretty much sprouted up and they're about ready to go out for transplanting, you want to transplant them into some soil, whether it's in a raised bed, in the ground, or in a container. The soil should be fertile, and it also should be warm. Eggplants are warm season crops. So the temperature should be around 60 degrees Fahrenheit during the nighttime and at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit during the daytime. So some warmer temperatures in that soil to get it growing and maturing properly. And with watering, you want to water consistently, not over excessively, but consistently enough to where if you don't give it enough water, then your eggplants can form irregular shapes. So if you want a nice, luscious eggplant that's uniform, then make sure that you are having a consistent watering schedule for that.
Now, with eggplants in the past, we have had issues with flea beetles. In 2024, they decimated our plants, so much so that we had to buy starts. Now, the year before that, in 2023, they did the same thing, but our plants were able to withstand it. It was more cosmetic in nature, and they did go on to survive and thrive. We've learned our lesson, and what we're gonna do this year is when we put the eggplants out, because of those flea beetles, we're gonna provide covering over those eggplants so that we can try to mitigate or minimize any damage that they may cause. And another thing that we're gonna do is, even though we have 7 varieties, this is a whole lot less than what we had before, because we had 16 plants that we had with eggplants. But one of the things, we do love eggplants, and what we're trying to do is use it as a meat substitute. It's really, really good, especially the larger classic type of eggplants that you typically would see in a grocery store. They're very meaty, and now we're growing those, and we are growing some of the slender Japanese type varieties that are more sweeter in nature. And so 16 plants down to about 7
varieties at least.
We're 7 varieties, maybe 7-ish plants. But it is something that we are excited to get in our raised beds and in buckets, because we will be growing 2 of those varieties in buckets. The early black eggplant, which is early season. It takes about 65 to 70 days, and it's pretty, from what I understand, it's pretty prolific. And then the Thai long green eggplant, which is a sweet long green eggplant that is compact in nature. So those 2 will be growing in buckets, with the others in raised beds.
And very quickly, because I forgot to mention it earlier on, but the 7 varieties that we're growing besides the early black eggplant, we're growing the classic Black Beauty eggplant, and we're also gonna do the Matoyo eggplant, which we grew in 2023, which this is one of those eggplants. You can eat probably all of these eggplants, but the Matoyo eggplant is a variety that is very prized for eating raw because it has a sweet taste versus a bitter taste. So we really enjoyed these. They were really good. So we're growing those again.
Can eat it like an apple.
Pretty much. And then we're also growing the Thai long green eggplant, the early black eggplant, which those seeds were kind of old. So we're just testing them out to see if they are viable. And then the long purple eggplant and the Mott Batir eggplant. And then you already said the long purple eggplant. So those are the 7 varieties that we're gonna grow. And again, super excited, but also let us know if you have any suggestions for dealing with those flea beetles because we need some answers.
Please drop it in the comments.
Y'all know what time it is. It's quiz time, y'all. We are going to start off our first question of the night with Miss K. A-Y. Come on in, Miss K. How you feeling?
I'm here.
Oh, well, that's good to know. So, you ready for this first question, Miss K-A-Y?
Of course I am.
All right, y'all ready? Well, stay ready. So the first question is, which pest commonly damages eggplants, often causing tiny holes in leaves and slowing down plant growth? Is it A, aphids, B, flea beetles, C, whiteflies, or D, slugs? All right, Miss K-A-Y, what is your answer?
Honey, I don't do bugs.
Okay, well, yeah. So, what's y'all's answer, y'all? I hope you chose B, flea beetles. Yes, flea beetles. Now it's on to our peppers. So, with peppers, again, sow them according to your last frost date. You want to sow hot peppers about 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost date because they are slow to germinate. And then for sweet peppers, you can do it about 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. So just like with the eggplants, you want to sow them about a 1/4 inch deep in your seed starting mix. They don't require light to germinate, but of course you need that water, okay? Need that water so that they can sprout properly. And since they do take a little while to germinate, we of course put them on the heat mat to speed up that process because we want to make sure we get them outside on time or, a little earlier if able. And when you are ready to transplant them outside, just like with the eggplant, you want your soil to be pretty fertile with some compost or some organic matter. And then you want the soil to be warm, so that's at least 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And also you want the watering you want to water pretty properly as well. And I believe they say you can water more when it's about time for, your peppers to flower, so they have enough water. But we are, drop the seed, y'all. I'm sorry. This is why it's hard to multitask sometimes. But this time we use, like in the past, we have sowed multiple seeds in one cell. We're gonna try to keep it a little conservative this time and do about maybe at least 3 per cell.
That's so heavy, y'all.
And
So this year we are growing a few types of varieties. We're growing the California Wonder, the lipstick pepper, and the California Wonder is a bell pepper. So lipstick pepper, so sweet pepper, and Jimmy Nardello.
She
loves Jimmy Nardello peppers. I love it, love it, love it. They're very sweet. They're thin-walled. I like to saute them, put them in pasta.
Yeah, pasta is really what we've tried with Jimmy Nardello.
Fajitas, really, really love Jimmy Nardello. But we're also growing poblano, jalapenos, and a hot pepper called Fatale. And once you can get past the heat, that citrusy flavor hits you and it's so good. We make seasonings out of this.
We also have sweet banana peppers and then YOLO Wonder. Now, I always press to have sweet banana peppers, even though I'm the only one who wants them, because I will eventually be making some pickled banana peppers because I love having pickled banana peppers on my food. And the YOLO Wonder, I believe you said, you can speak on that one a little bit.
The YOLO Wonder they're bell peppers, but they're a little bit bigger. And so we grew those last year. I really did like them. They were big. So we're growing both kinds, yellow wonder, which I really think that the yellow is, I say yellow, but it's YOLO wonder.
Oh, I did not catch that.
Country, y'all.
No.
And so I really believe that YOLO wonder is an improved version of some type of, maybe even California wonder. Don't quote me on that, y'all. But they are delicious and they are big.
We are also growing purple. This is not eggplant or peppers, but we are going to go ahead and do the rutabagas, purple top rutabagas. And we are going to grow some pink Mizuna. The pink Mizuna they're a derivative, or they're in the family of mustards, and they grow pretty fast. We enjoy them in salads, and I believe they're also pretty good cooked as well. And then the purple top rutabagas, they're kind of like a cross between a turnip and is it the cross between a turnip?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
We just know they're pretty good.
They are good.
So
we grew them last year and they were absolutely delicious.
So I think that's about it. We are going to cover these with some soil, about a 1/4 inch of soil for the peppers, and for the purple top, this is sown about a 1/2 inch deep. Pink Mizuna, about a 1/4 inch deep, and then we are going to spray these things with some agua and cover it with the cling wrap.
Yep.
And we're back with the Sow It, Grow It mini game show. We are going to bring out our second contestant, Miss KAE. I see you're back again.
I'm back again with some different books this time. I'm in it to win it.
Okay, let's win this game with this next question. Are you ready for the question?
Give it to me. I got my books.
All right, and that's all you need. Y'all ready? All right, get ready, because the next question is, what is the ideal growing temperature for peppers to thrive? Is it A, 40 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, B, above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, C, 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, or D, I'll put them out when I put them out? All right, KAE, what is your final answer? Let's see if those books helped you out.
Well, I was going to go with 90 because I stay hot out here. But you know what? I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to go with C.
Oh, well, you got it right. That's right, y'all. So I hope you picked C. Simmer down in the hot sun.
It's the books.
It's the books.
The books.
C is the correct answer. You got it, Kay. 65 to 85 degrees is the ideal temperature for peppers to thrive. If you go too low, then it stunts the growth. And if you go too high, above 90 degrees consistently, then that may cause the plant to have stunted growth. The blossoms may fall off, and you'll have less peppers to harvest over time because of heat stress. So
that part.
Okay, we got our last mini quiz of the night. So let's welcome in our last contestant, K. It's just K, the letter K. Okay, how you feeling today, K?
I'm always well.
Always well? Well, let's see how well you are with this question. So y'all answer this with us, y'all. A rutabaga, also known as a swede, is a root vegetable that is a cross between what two plants? Is it A, a radish and a cabbage, B, a turnip and a cabbage, C, a who, or D, white potatoes and turnips? All right, Miss K, what is your final answer?
My answer, because I know I'm right, is a kohlrabi and a cabbage.
Now, I know kohlrabi was not on that list, but all right now. So you're wrong, of course, but the right answer, y'all, and I hope y'all got this right, is B, a turnip and a cabbage.
All right, y'all. That's it for the second episode of our Sow It, Grow It series.
We hope that you all not only learned, but also had lots of fun watching us and joining us along our sowing and growing journey. Let us know what you're currently sowing or what you will be sowing moving forward. And then let us know if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed those mini quizzes that we had in this video as well. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, plant to live. Got a little harmony there. See y'all.
See ya.
Feel like Kay.